Hi guys, this is Karan here from Headphone Zone, and in today's video we'll be talking about Moondrop's latest release, the Blessing 3. So Blessing 2, when it was released, it quickly developed a cult following and it was easily one of the most recommended IEMs under the 30,000 rupees price point. Now with the release of the Blessing 3, Moondrop has updated the driver configuration, has refined the tuning, and they've also changed the design language. So in this video we'll go in detail about every aspect of the Blessing 3. So let's get to it. Alright guys, so let's talk a little bit about what you get in the box and the unboxing experience in general. Now, staying true to the Moondrop style, you have a waifu themed box, and inside the package you get the Blessing 3 IEMs, you get a silver plated cable, various ear tips, a white leather carrying case, some aviation adapters, and a waifu themed postcard. Now overall the package is very well thought out and it allows you to just get started right out of the box. Now one thing that I want to talk about is the case that's provided with the Blessing 3 is very spacious. You really don't have to stuff your IEMs to carry it around, and even the cable provided is fairly nice. It's not too microphonic and it does not tangle easily, and I think a lot of people are really going to appreciate that. So moving on, let's talk a little bit about the design and the comfort for the Blessing 3. Now Blessing 3 sports the same transparent shell which is 3D printed just like the Blessing 2. It also has a metallic faceplate, but this time around Moondrop has changed the faceplate from a brushed look to a much more mirror-like finish. Now this I personally feel adds to the visual flair and I think is a step in the right direction in terms of a redesign. Now talking about the comfort, now Moondrop has addressed a critical issue that a lot of people had problems in the Blessing 2, is that they've shrunk the nozzle size of the Blessing 3. Now this adds to the comfort factor and I think it will appeal to a lot more people who want to afford the Blessing 3. Now I've personally used this IEM for hours at a stretch and I did not feel any discomfort. Yes, the shells are large, but there are no hot spots when wearing them for hours on the go. Alright guys, so let's talk a little bit about the driver configuration and the tuning for the Blessing 3. Now just like Blessing 2, the Moondrop Blessing 3 is a hybrid driver IEM, but what's changed from the Blessing 2 is the implementation of the dual dynamic drivers. Now Moondrop with the Blessing 3 has implemented something called the HODDDUS. Now what this essentially is it's taking two 10mm dynamic drivers with overlapping magnetic fields, and according to Moondrop, what this is something that's found in planar magnetic headphones, and it essentially helps deliver more power, it lowers the distortion, and it improves the overall clarity of the low end. Alright, so hybrid designs are very popular in IEMs and the Blessing 3 utilizes that very well. Now the frequency spectrum has been distributed among the 6 drivers very efficiently, where the dynamic drivers are handling the low end and the 4 balanced armature drivers are handling the mids and the highs. Another very nice implementation with the Blessing 3 is that there is an electronic crossover that's implemented so well that there is literally no inter-frequency distortion, and this is further helped with the separate nozzles from each driver. So basically there is no interfrequency distortion electronically, and it's also been physically separated. Alright guys, so let's talk about the tuning of the Blessing 3. Now what Moondrop has done is they've tuned the Moondrop Blessing 3 following the virtual diffuse sound field target, which is the VDSF target, and they followed it very closely, as I can see from the frequency graph that's been presented on the back of the box. Now this curve very closely represents the Harman tuning curve, and what this means is it's going to be something that a lot of people are going to enjoy. Alright guys, so let's talk about how the Blessing 3 sounds and how the listening experience is with the IEMs. Now the Blessing 3 has taken a departure from the standard tuning of the Blessing 2, and with the Blessing 3 there is a bit more emphasis on the sub bass region as opposed to the mid bass region on the Blessing 2. The upper mids and the treble have also been retuned, and they overall present a very smooth and round listening experience. Alright, so let's talk about the bass or the low end response of the Blessing 3. Now, as I mentioned, that the tuning has been changed and there is a lot more emphasis on the sub bass region, and because of this you'll hear a very nice rumble and a punch that you wouldn't usually hear in the Blessing 2. I think the note weight and the textures are presented quite well, and for me personally, this new tuning where the bass sort of dips in the mid bass region really adds to the perceived clarity in the higher registers of the music. Now, if you were to talk about the mids, I feel the mids on the Blessing 3 are phenomenal. Now, of course, keeping the whole aspect of the mid bass roll off aside, I think the details, the instruments that are in the mid range are presented really well. Like, I was hearing some synth pop tracks and I could really hear the decay in the synths, and this is something that I personally appreciate. Now, that mid bass dip is something that not a lot of people will prefer, but overall, if I were to talk about the mid range presentation, I think it's just phenomenal. Now, moving on to the treble region, I think what Moondrop has really done is address that one complaint from a lot of users of the Blessing 2, and they've really tamed the top end. I think there is a smoothness to this IEM while also maintaining that clarity in the treble region. Alright, so what are my final thoughts on the Moondrop Blessing 3? I think this IEM is an excellent IEM, and the team at Moondrop have done a great job in improving the design, the comfort factor, and especially the tuning. Now, this improved tuning is something that I prefer for the kind of music that I listen to, and I know a lot of you people are not going to appreciate the trade-off from that mid-bass presence in Blessing 2 to the sub-bass emphasis on the Blessing 3. But if you're someone who's willing to use an EQ, I think this is a fairly versatile pair of IEM that can suit a lot of tuning preferences and a lot of musical genres. If you're a gamer, if you're an audiophile, or if you are someone who's looking to upgrade from your first or second IEM, I cannot recommend the Moondrop Blessing 3 enough. So if you would like to try these IEMs, I invite you to our experience studio here in Mumbai. And if you're not from Mumbai, you can catch us at a Headphone Connect happening at a city near you. Alright guys, so that is it for today. I'll see you in the next one.